What is up, everyone? I am Demon Cringe, and today I'm gonna be talking about something that I should have probably, in hindsight, done a video on a lot sooner. In fact, I kind of think I should have done a video on this since maybe like a week after the Wanted arc debuted, but I don't know, I kind of forgot about it. But now that all the fire has died down, I just wanna talk about some few things in the Steven Universe fandom and call out some hypocrisy. Now, of course, ladies and gentlemen, I am not going to be talking about the SJWs in the Steven Universe fandom because, let's face it, a hell of a lot of people have already talked about those, and I don't want to be repeating anyone. And also, by the way, I do know that not every single person in the SU fandom is like this, but unfortunately, there are a lot because a cartoon like Steven Universe, even though a lot of people like it for the story and all that stuff, there are a lot of things that attract some of the worst dregs of humanity, and we gotta address a little bit of that. So for this video, I'm gonna be talking about the moral bankruptcy of some people in the Steven Universe fandom. So by the picture in the video, you obviously already know what I'm gonna be talking about. I'm gonna be talking about those goddamn people that say, "Oh my god, Lars is such a horrible, horrible bully. He is beyond redemption. Oh my god, ugh." And it's so goddamn hilarious how a lot of these people have completely done a 180 and just now realized, oh well, maybe Lars wasn't so bad. So, as we all know, up until recently, Lars really wasn't the best of characters. When it came to stuff like, how he acted towards other characters and all that stuff, he was a bit jerky and all that. He was especially jerky to Steven. He basically tried so hard to make himself look cool, pretending something to be something that he's not and all that. And a lot of people hated him for it. And by the way, I'm not saying disliked, okay? Like, a lot of people can dislike these sort of traits in a character, but the thing is, some of the people, like, of course I've mentioned that the Steven Universe cartoon tends to attract some of the worst dregs in humanity, and these people absolutely hated Lars, mostly because a lot of these people are basically thin-skinned little pussies who cannot realize the fact that some characters can be written to be like that because they have something more complex going on in their lives, and they cannot see the big picture because they don't know how to analyze shit. And in all honesty, when it comes down to pinpointing what's actually going on with Lars, you really don't have to do a lot of analyzing. You can just see, oh, this is the typical teenage angsty shit where someone's insecure and all that stuff. But no, a lot of people were like, basically, whenever someone would make a post about Lars potentially having a redemption arc, there would be tons and tons of people that would descend upon her like the bubonic fucking plague and be like, oh my god, Lars is the worst character in the show, I absolutely hate him. The things he did to poor little Steven, oh, he is absolutely beyond redemption 100% and all that. And I am like, bitch, what the fuck are you saying? And you wanna know what's even more hilarious? These people, these same people, of course, they immediately did a 180 and were like, oh my god, Lars is so cool now, blah, 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 blah. These people, basically, who thought that Lars was 100% beyond redemption because he was just a little bit mean to all the other characters, you know who they want to have a redemption arc? They want fucking Jasper to have a redemption arc. Jesus Christ, the hypocrisy is beautiful in this one, ain't it, everyone? Now, by the way, I'm not trying to crap on anyone who made like theories about Jasper or any other villainous character having a redemption arc. I'm basically crapping on these people that were just, oh, this character is beyond redemption just because he was mean, and this one has to be redeemed even though she's basically a gem rapist. And of course, a lot of this, you would of course expect a lot of this to come from Tumblr, right? Well, it's not really just from Tumblr. In fact, the most of these whole, Lars being beyond redemption and Jasper needing a redemption arc actually came from the toxic hive-minded cesspool, also known as fucking Reddit. Because why the fuck would anything nice come out of that place? Let's face it, everyone. And it's just so damn hilarious that some of these people are making arguments such as Lars being a bully for just saying a few mean things while Jasper was basically bullying in every stretch of the imagination. In all honesty, Jasper really doesn't have any redeemable qualities whatsoever. Obviously, in a lot of, good storylines, there are villainous characters that get redeemed. But the thing is, Jasper is definitely not like other, pseudo-villainous characters. And I call them pseudo because, let's face it, Lapis wasn't a villain in any stretch of the imagination. She was just, abused and all that stuff. And she was basically mad at the world and didn't know what she was doing. And Peridot, before her redemption arc, she was basically, she was kind of sort of evil. But she was mostly just, kept in the dark about, certain things. She was kind of ignorant about it. But later she realized that there were a lot of things worth fighting for Earth and all that. So yeah, she realized the error of her ways and became one of the good guys. But With Jasper, it's like she literally has zero redeemable qualities, you know? It's like it's pretty obvious that she wasn't even written to have a redemption arc, because let's face it, everyone. I mean, it is a kid's show, and yeah, there are a few things that I kind of don't think should be included in what's called a kid's show. We can see from this right here. Yeah, but the thing is, let's face it, you know, like for a kid's show, she pretty much did, you know, basically the worst thing, you know. We already know what kind of, sorta, you know, fusion is meant to represent and all that, and yeah, what Jasper did was kinda, yeah, so basically they call Lars a bully for being a little bit mean, and yet they say that Jasper needs a redemption arc after she did something like that. So yeah, good job, assholes. You know, you're like, I am so goddamn happy that none of these people have any power in the legal system, because these are the same people who would probably say that Ted Bundy is innocent, while someone who just said a few mean things to them in high school is fucking Hitler. And now, everyone, I'm gonna be explaining why I wanted to do this after the Wanted arc came and went. So after that dropped, people were a lot of people were like, did a complete and total 180 and were like, oh my god, I always knew Lars was a good guy on the inside. I never hated him. Whatever I said about him before that, I take it all back. Oh my god, he's such a good guy. Blah, 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 blah. And it's so goddamn hilarious. When you go to Reddit, you'll see some, you know, like recent posts of people saying, oh well, I now realize that Lars was just a misunderstood character. He basically tried to pretend to be cool and all that. He was pressured, and he kind of feels insecure about himself, so he tries to take his anger out on everyone else. Maybe he was bullied in his younger years. And I'm like, no shit, you son of a bitch. No shit. Was that so hard that you actually had to see the Wanted arc to actually believe that? To believe that Lars was actually capable of something heroic or good? As soon as you see his character, you can immediately realize what the hell is going on with him. Okay, and in all honesty, Lars is one of the most relatable characters in the show, because let's face it, we all went through our angsty teen years, and a lot of us fared a little bit worse than others. Some of us had the teenage angst, the regular one, and a lot of us had that come see come saw teenage depression, where we basically felt like we were the lords of darkness and we wanted to burn everyone. And it really is hilarious when you see the big picture of this, you know, like there are a lot of people that actually didn't like the character and all that stuff, and that's totally fine. But you know, they just didn't like the character because, you know, Lars didn't really like click with them and all that stuff. But a lot of them were like these thin-skinned little pussies that were like, oh my god, someone says a few mean things to someone, that makes him the ultimate evil. Blah, blah, blah. It's absolutely insane that some people, you know, like they have to realize that someone's an actual good guy on the inside only when they see the character on screen doing good things. Like whenever someone with a normally functioning brain sees Lars, you know, they can just see one scene of Lars and they'll be like, okay, well, you know, I can see that he's basically just insecure about himself, you know, he's just saying that, he really doesn't mean it, he's not a bad guy. But these people apparently have to see the character, you know, risking his fucking neck to save Steven and all that stuff to actually, like, realize, oh, well, maybe he's not a bad guy after all. Oh, and another thing, if they actually did redeem Jasper, it would actually be one of the worst things that the writers could ever do, because, like I said, Jasper, she never did a single good thing, you know, she doesn't even show a bit of remorse and all that stuff. It's like, if you turn all your villains into good guys, you're not gonna have anything, you know, that's basically how you ruin a story. Like, if you don't have any villains, or you know, what's gonna happen? Oh, and by the way, do you want to hear something even more insane? Some people literally want the Diamonds to have a redemption arc. Now, I know that some people are theorizing that it might happen, and theories are totally fine, this video isn't aimed at them, but there are some people that are just frothing at the mouth for, like, the Diamonds to have a redemption arc, and like, are you kidding me? The Diamonds, when you take a look at like the writing aspect, you know, the Diamonds are essentially more evil than the Joker from Batman, okay? The Joker basically wants to be just a psychopathic murderer and all that stuff, but the Diamonds literally want to commit mass genocide. Not just that, they want to just kill everything on the planet Earth, you know? They just want to turn the Earth into a husk. It's like, are you that stupid? Why would a character like that ever be redeemable? Ever? Whoa! I just want to strangle your little pencil neck, I swear to God. And yes, everyone, I do know that I sound a little bit too ranty and ravey right now. Oh my god, you're getting a bit too angry over this and blah blah blah. But the thing is, I'm actually a huge stickler for storylines and all that. And these people are just the enemies, the worst enemies that writing has ever had, you know? It's like these people are to creativity what political correctness is to Western society. I honestly hope that none of these people ever go on and make shows of their own, because everyone who watches it, you know, immediately, just by 1 minute of viewing, they will immediately get hospitalized because of all the cringe. Well, everyone, that was my little a little rant about the moral bankruptcy of some certain people in the Steven Universe community. Thank you all so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe and press the bell icon, and as always, I'm Demon Cringe. I'll be seeing you guys in the next video.